Hey everybody, we're going to be looking at something a little different tonight. We're looking at some Waves plugins, and I don't use a ton of Waves plugins. I think they're pretty good, but there's just something about them that I've always preferred some of the other things. But there's something that Waves does that nobody else is really doing, and I think we need to talk about it. And it's this Cla Nx plugin that just came out this past week. It is a virtual control room. You use it with headphones. In fact, you're not going to be able to see it very well, but it's this little thing on my headphones here. It tracks my head movement, and I can use that to really listen to a mix as if I'm in like a real recording studio. So I want to look at this one. This is the new one that came out, but we also... Let me come in here, and I want to make this clear. I'm not like being sponsored by this. I'm not getting any money from this. I think that this is truly one of the future elements of recording, and I just want to, share this and also get some of your feedback about it as well. So this is the Abbey Road Studio control room, and let me turn that off. Let's come in here. I'm going to just load them all up real quick. Here's the original NX. Turn that off for a second. And then we have one other one, which is the Ocean Wave. So I went out and bought all of these. And I just love how this works. It means I can work on a laptop or in a teeny little room and don't have to worry about the acoustics of it. Is it the same thing as being in the actual rooms themselves? I highly doubt it. But it certainly is a great solution. I think it's a solution that we're going to be seeing a lot more in the future, because we have the technology now to do this in a really great way with head tracking. Sure, the Waves uses this little device, but Apple, their headphone lines have head tracking in them. And so there's a lot of different things we can do with it, moving it around and whatnot. So you can see on the screen with the active one, I'm moving the headphones around. That mimics what you can do with your head. In each of these cases, there's different things about them. So for instance, with Ocean Wave, we have the HR5 and the HR1 speaker options, and then ambience. Everything else is pretty much the same, and we can look around and see what the room looks like here, but that's really just a visual thing, although it does move the audio around. With Abbey Road, we have near, mid, far, but we also have surround sound in here. So this is one of the few this is the only one of these three that mimic real spaces that do surround sound. And then with the new CLAs, you can see the room. This one does one thing that the others don't do. We have the CLA 10 plus sub, we have the mains, and then we have a boombox over here. And so we definitely get the sound of each of these things. So just to give you a little flavor of this, because you won't hear the exact same thing I'm hearing. I mean, you will, but it won't feel quite right because I'm going to be moving my head and your head will be moving differently.
Who are you to grow so old, when growing up has made me bold? Each time you fall, each and every breath calls to the one they call him death. And now I'm here singing all alone, singing for my home. And now I'm here looking over there, deciding how to care, raising up our hands, trying hard to understand things beyond our grasp, shouting to the wind, desperation shows, the rain makes us grow. I turn my head
besides being a rough mix still, you can hear the difference in each of those spaces. The NX, the original one, is definitely the lowest quality, least smooth one of all of these. And then I would say the smoothest sounding would be the Abbey Road Studio 3, which just sounds incredible, plus the surround sound option. The Ocean Way Nashville sounds amazing, but it certainly has a unique sound from the others. And then the CLA option is really, I mean, it has a bright sound with really good definition in the low frequencies, plus the boombox option. I mean, there's so many different things. I don't think if you're going to go down this road that you should just pick one of these. I definitely think having all of them is worth taking a look at. Plus, sure, there was an opening deal for the CLA that is $29, and I think it goes up to $49 right now, but it's going to be on sale all the time because Waves does that. These are not like super expensive plugins for what they do. The most expensive thing is probably the thing on my head, and so it's worth getting, I think. The other option, there is an option that uses your webcam to track your head movement, but while that's good, I do think the headphone tracker itself is really the most important part of that. So you got to hear them a little bit. Just know that they're almost all identical except for, in terms of the other options, except for the speaker choices. And of course, the sound of the rooms are all different. You would want to make sure you measure the circumference of your head and ear to ear so that you can put that in there. It keeps them tracked across all of them. And it actually does headphone EQ if you have one of the pairs of headphones that they have programmed in there. I have a pair that's not on this list, but it's a great sounding pair of headphones regardless. And so I don't know if I would use the EQ in there anyway, but it certainly is a cool thing. One last thing I will say is you can solo out the left or the right speaker in the room and you still get the sound of the room, just like if you're summing to mono in one speaker or something, or just want to hear what's in the left or the right. All of it. I mean, it's a great experience, and it's really acoustically pleasant, and it takes what could be a really non-ideal environment of having to work on headphones and makes it so you can do that and have, I would say, less ear fatigue, more accurate mixing, and just overall better experience than just doing straight headphones. And you can always turn them off and just go back to the old way if you want to go back and forth. So, do I think these are worth it? I think that if you're working a lot on headphones, you should definitely be looking at this because I think that it's going to elevate your mixing and it's going to make your mixing more enjoyable and bring you into that environment. Just don't forget to turn these off before you bounce out your final mix, because otherwise you'll have this written onto your track. Unless that's what you're going for, I don't recommend it. Okay, that's all I want to do is just look at this and give you a little taste of these. I know that the CLA is brand new, but don't forget about these other ones that have been around for a bit.